it not? There we go.
This is a demo circle of a CFT pod. Peggy's circling Alex. All right, everybody. So, Alex, your job is to be you and just to, share whatever you share. And I want you to know that while I'm going to be possibly asking you questions, sometimes maybe even difficult questions, it's up to you what you share. Just because I ask doesn't mean you have to, say anything. Um, this is your time. Also, you don't have to really worry about taking up space because it's your time. And then everybody else, you're participants, not observers. And that means, what is it like to be with Alex and getting his world and walking in his shoes? Like really try to walk in his shoes and get what it's like to be him. But not but don't lose yourself. Like it's being with him, but also being with how does that affect you? You know, to the degree that you might be permeable, it might actually change your life, you know? And yet, I'm going to probably ask you, or I want you to share how it is impacting you. Um, so if you have something to say that when I don't ask you, then can you raise your hand? Because I might believe we're in the middle of something. Who knows if we are or not, but I might believe it. And so I just want you to wait a second and I might put my finger up like that. And if I do ask you to share and you like checked out for a moment, don't feel bad about just saying pass. So just because I ask you at a particular moment in time to share something doesn't mean you have to share at that time. Are there any questions? Cool. Okay, well, if you feel comfortable, then how about if we just do a little bit of centering and getting here and just grounding. We're gonna have this until 9. Oh, we're really close. 9:40. We're gonna go to 9:40 with the circle. Okay? All right, so just close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. Just allow yourself to sort of settle. Let gravity have its way with you. Sinking into the earth, allowing her to hold you. Just allow the silence to expand. Where does your attention go in the silence? There's so many choices. Is your attention going to the sounds around you, to your thoughts, to your physical sensations? Just allow it to go wherever it goes. When you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes to the physical room you're in, and then join us here on Zoom, turning our attention to Alex. Hey, Alex, look at that. You're being circled.
Here I am.
Hmm. Well, here we are with you. How is it to be here with us?
Mm, Exhausting in a boring way. The best way I can put it.
Hmm.
It's like I, like I just know. Like I have a deep sense of knowing, having been with cancer for so long and having it been in my life for a decade at this point, that it's legitimately like easier for a lot of people if it's just not there, like just not brought into conscious awareness. And there's like a story that I tell myself that like psychically cancer smells really bad. And it smells really bad because people find out and then they have fears and concerns and then they're projecting their own sort of like anxieties over mortality like onto me. And then I get to see people's emotions come up and then watch them distance themselves. And then there's like all the things that people say and do that, like, because they don't know what to say or do, but it comes across as an authentic, like, if there's anything that you need, it's like, yeah, I need my fucking brain cancer to go away. Or asking me, like, how are you feeling? I got like 10 texts over the past 24 hours. How are you feeling? How the fuck do you think I'm feeling right now? How am I feeling about that? How about you just stop asking me how I'm feeling about it? Because I just want to fucking I want to live, right? And there's this like way of like I don't feel like I have a choice over my identity anymore. I don't feel like I have a choice over how I'm perceived, how people relate to me, and I can't hide it. I won't be able to hide it anymore. My hair is going to be falling out. I'm going to be on chemotherapy for a year. How are people not, how am I not going to have this stench of cancer everywhere I go? And how do I make this not smell bad?
Can I pause you? Just let you be with yourself for a moment. How is it to just sit there with your eyes closed and sort of tuning all of us out, including all of the world, and just being with yourself? How's that right now?
Hmm, how is it?
Yeah.
Hmm, so many paradoxes, It's like comforting and isolating, but also not isolating because I'm in a group, and so it wouldn't be the same experience if I was alone. And what I what I know, like what was coming up for me, like the theme, like just very loud and clear. It's like, and this has been a theme for me developmentally and kind of like since my childhood. This like real fear of hurting people and hurting people unintentionally.
Well, I just
And
need to pause you because there's so many things coming up for me with just the short amount that we've talked about. Is that okay if I share?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
First of all, I just get how heavy it is, especially with what you just said, the last piece about not wanting to hurt other people, but yet how heavy it is to take on people's concerns. Like, you already have your own fucking like reaction to what's happening for yourself. And then there's like almost, it felt to me, and I'm just asking if this is how it is for you, like almost oppressive. Like there's so much pressure when people say, "How are you feeling?" and "How are you this?" and "How are you that?" And it's like, and you don't want to hurt them. And it's like, it adds to the already stuff going on in you. It just was like, and especially given what you just said about how much you care about people, it's like doubles the pressure. It's like I'm just like sitting here feeling like a pressure cooker right now, just hearing you say this. Is that anything to do with what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's like logistically, like there's just logistics of time and space and energy. And I don't want to blow people off. I want to give them a good answer. I don't want to repeat myself, 20 times a day. And then there's this like very real thing where if I'm with someone, they find out for the first time, like, oh my God, I'm, I'm dealing with this. And like there's a look in people's eyes and just like their face, and I can see it where it's like, I've just, I've just cursed them or something like that. Or and it's not everyone, but it's like pretty common where they can't be with it. They can't be with that experience at all. And now it's like, how is it possible for me to not feel guilty? How is it possible for me to not feel guilty for not being able to show up in all the ways that I would like to, or to be able to take away the pain, suffering of someone experiencing me just existing? Like pressure cooker, it's just a lot. It's just a lot when it's already a lot.
Yeah. I had a illness, I don't know. I can't even remember how many long ago, but it was when I was similar age in my 30s. And it was weird. Like I was like intermittent, like I would just like not be able to function. And so I had people sometimes come and stay with me, and I had a similar experience. Like they're like I didn't experience it the way that you did with I experienced it like I could see their fear. Like I could see they were really freaking afraid. And I'm sitting over here in my body having the experience, and I'm like, sometimes I'm afraid and sometimes I'm not afraid. And sometimes, I'm just like living this in my body, and it's just occurring like as it is occurring. And so then to be faced with their fear on top of whatever I'm going through is like,
Hmm.
whoa, and so I really did not feel seen at all. Like, I
Hmm.
just really did not feel seen because it was like they had such this filter, I guess,
Hmm.
such that they couldn't see that, hey, I'm over here and I'm still functioning,
Hmm.
you know, like like you're sitting here with me and I can speak to you at this moment. So, anyways, I just want you to know that I think I kind of get it. Is that true?
Yeah. And I mean, that's just reminding me of my mom a whole lot. You know, when this thing first happened, the the brain tumor, that is, and then the first two surgeries. Oh my God, my mom was just so supremely unhelpful for her and for me, for herself, for our relationship, for me. Took a really long time for her to like really see that she was just sort of like putting all of her anxieties and fears and everything onto me when I'm the one trying to navigate it all for myself. And and then like yeah, people having these expectations, like my fucking assistant. Like I love Charlene, she's great in so many ways, but she fucking projects these assumptions. This is like the one thing I am upset about. So I don't have a lot of anger around cancer, but I get really angry about this one particular thing, which is sort of like projecting assumptions over how I'm feeling. Like, oh, you must be like you must be exhausted today. Oh, I'm sure you're terrified right now. Oh, I'm sure you like don't tell me how I'm feeling. Like, stop projecting your own experience of how you imagine you would be in my shoes. And the like reality is, I actually don't even know like what my experience ought to be or what it's like, what I want it to be, or like exactly where it's headed. But I know when people like project their emotions onto me, it's really not that, you know, or like the parts when people seem to think like if I'm not freaking out, like if I'm not having this like inner crisis or something, then I must be like suppressing it, something like that,
Just a
you
different
know?
form of projection.
It's just like, and so like in some sense, because there's just all this confusion that just manifests around me, not even within me, but just around me because I'm just fucking existing. And like, there was a piece of me that was like trying to really decide, like, do I actually just keep this a secret? Do I actually, like, the only person in the world that knows about the recurrence is me? Or that is like just me and my partner? And like,
Hmm. But apparently the cat's out of the bag.
well, and it's going to be kind of hard to hide when my fucking hair's falling out and I don't have eyebrows,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, you've brought up the hair falling out and the eyebrows, and is it the hiding it that's the issue? Is it the losing of the hair that's the issue? Because you like every time that comes up, you get more animated.
Mm. Well, there's like a vanity piece here for sure. Um, but I don't think that's what it's really about. But I look good. I didn't used to look
You
good.
do. I
I
saw a picture of you on Facebook. Let's see your six pack or eight pack.
well, it didn't used to be that way, you know? And it's all I also hear one of the very rude things that people like to say to me when they find out that I'm a cancer survivor, which is like, "Oh, you look so good," right? Um,
Probably want to
don't,
punch him.
yeah, yeah, don't say that to someone. But it's like it's something like this because it's not so much that like, oh no, because I can get a toupee, whatever. Like it's not even the hair. It's not about the hair. It's like I want to put words to it because it's important. There's just like something, it's just, there's something that's so fundamental to me as a human being, like my spirit, like my like particular spirit, which is I really pretty consistently make pretty fucking terrible situations pretty damn good. And if if I can't, then I somehow am able to do some inner alchemy to convince myself that I actually wanted it to begin with. And
Mm.
there's some way where with like the hair falling out bit, where it's like God, the universe, like whatever has like mandated and like given me the responsibility, right, to go and communicate and to like be the poster child for some message out there. Because if I'm not, if I'm not transforming this fucked up situation into something really beneficial for like myself and everyone around me, like what is there to do besides wither away and die? And so like the hair falling out is more like a, it's like a recognition of like, this is the biggest, hardest thing like that. And I don't feel like I really have a choice. And even if I had a choice, it's like, I don't know, it's like it's being handed to me by God. It feels like a very divine thing that, like, okay, this is what you do. This is your spirit. Now, like, you must do this thing with this really hard thing. It's just really hard.
It is really hard.
And I know I'm gonna do it. But then like the stuff that comes up around, like, well, I don't want to. And it's like, well,
I'm just so appreciating your struggle right now. Basically, your commitment to transforming this or whatever, at the same point, right where it's like, fuck, I don't really have a choice. This is really hard. It's like you know you're gonna make the turn, but you haven't quite made it yet.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think like hearing that, like I haven't made the turn. Like I haven't, like I know I'm going to make the turn, but I haven't made it yet. There's like, there's just this weird paradox of just like both things being here and being like totally present, totally true. Because there's the part of me that's like, that's right. That like I am going to make the turn and I haven't done it yet. And then there's the piece of me that is like, I don't know, man. Maybe I can't. Maybe I won't. Maybe this thing turned into a grade 4. Maybe we're about to do the surgery and I find out I've got 12 months to live. And then like they take so much of my brain out that I can't even fully function and like think how I normally can. I don't have all of these like really advanced faculties. Maybe like maybe it's a fucked up bad ending because
Yeah,
sometimes there's fucked up bad endings to stories and sometimes bad things happen to good people. And that's like maybe that's how this ends.
yeah,
And I don't know.
I don't know.
Like I know, like I know. with everything in my life, I've always said like the only way to really lose, to like really fail is to give up.
Mm,
And I just keep going. But with this, like, I don't get that choice. That choice is made for me.
mhm. So it seems like there's something here about like I this what's happening for me right now is this give up and that choice has been made for me. And it's like, I don't know, this word of like knowing that the choice has been made for you, that you are going to go on this path and you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you're going to be able to make that turn because what happens in this surgery could affect your ability to even make the turn. So there's some sort of way that I don't know. I'm really appreciating that you're acknowledging that you don't know and that it sucks. Really fucking sucks. I don't know, there's some sort of I don't know, it feels like the edge of humanity. Really, like listening to you is like right at like we really none of us really know. But you're being faced with it like square in your face.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just fucked up. It's just fucked up. It's just fucked up. Like, what do you like? What is there to do? What is there to do? It's just fucked up.
It is curious to me that there's not the anger. Because I mean, if
Who
I
am I?
said it's fucked up, if I said it's fucked up, I would have anger behind it.
Who am I gonna be angry at?
So there's some sort of acceptance of it. Is that true?
There's definitely an acceptance of it. I think the part that's really hard for me to accept because it's like paradox just seems so alive like in this whole experience for me because like there's acceptance of it, but it's like really hard for me to accept that I'm not going to have a full complete resolution to the story or that like there's going to be some loops that are just left open. But then, like hearing myself say that, because anyone who like really knows me, they know that I'm not gonna say a perfectionist, but like I have something to cohesion and like everything's like really well put together. Like things are like when I create something, like it's just fucking good. Like I'm really proud of my company. I'm really proud of that team. Like it just mm. And like this house here with all the decorating we're doing, like this basement isn't done yet, but like you guys remember, you've seen like some of you have seen my actual house, right? Like it's like I put it in a box and then the box is like tied up and wrapped in a bow just having this conversation because we just watched this TV show and it's only two seasons long and it's a defined story and it starts and then it ends and there's no cliffhangers and it's everything is completely wrapped and tied up and it's just like fucking like amazing, right? And like I'm kind of like that as like the producer and director. Like I start and I've got episode one, two, three, start and done. Boom. Did that with my company. I'm out of it. I've got an amazing CEO. They don't need me anymore, right? But I feel like looking at my life, like I'm actually like mid-season. I'm like mid-season. And then fucking like God is calling and saying, "Oh, by the way, like there's actually something going on in the economy and like we might actually be out of budget to continue your TV show." Uh, and so you might only have like you might not even have enough money to like finish the season that you're on. You might have a few more seasons, like just don't quite know. And I'm just like, as the main actor, director, producer, screenwriter, I'm like, what am I supposed to fucking do with that? Like, what am I supposed to fucking do with that?
Mm.
It's like the third wall of my fucking life is gone, you know?
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, okay, well, all these things, all these plans, all these directions that I have been wanting to move towards, like I can't even, I have a mutation in my tumor that could mean it turns to a glioblastoma instantly on a moment's notice. And then I definitely have like 12 months to live. So when I say I've got like 1 to 20 years right now, I have 1 to 20, I have no fucking idea. It's like, what the fuck? Like,
What
what
the fuck?
the fuck? And so it's like not really an anger because anger implies that there's like a, I don't know, there's like a cutting and it's a separation and it's like a pushing away or a removing or like something like that. And it's not that, but it's just like an exasperation. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with that? Like, I've been doing some really cool shit with my life. I'm like, what the fuck do I do now?
Mm.
And I don't want to move through life as a full-time cancer patient, you know, and that's what I'm going to look like. That's what it's going to be. My entire life is going to be detoxing from the chemo so that my brain doesn't turn to mush for the rest of my life so I can get back out and like do my next company, which the whole population that I'm targeting with my next company is cancer patients, right? Like, fuck.
Fuck. Fuck. Mm.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like I'm wanting, and I know other people are wanting, like I'm wanting a fucking answer. I'm wanting an answer. I'm wanting a protocol. This is where like religion could be helpful. The Catholics, I'm sure, have like a protocol for everything. Someone's got a protocol, but like the reality is there's no fucking protocol.
No.
There's no rule book. There's no like, okay, here's what you do. Here's how it's all going to be good and okay. And my spiritual background is Buddhism. And so we talk a lot about these transitional states and the bardo state and how like dying and going to sleep at night are kind of the same thing. It's just when you die, you don't wake up, you get reincarnated eventually. And like the whole point of like having a good death and dying process is so that when you go into the bardo realm, you're not going into a nightmare state, right? So if you live a really good life here on this planet, then you should have good dreams when you die. And I've just been having fucking nightmares over and over and over again for the past few weeks. I had a nightmare 2 nights ago, not last night, but 2 nights ago, where I just kept reincarnating, getting cancer, going on to chemotherapy, dying, reincarnating, and it happened like 10 times over and over again.
Mm.
And it's
Mm.
like, what is there to fucking like, what is there to do with that? And so I just keep like bringing myself to just try to be friends with it. It's like, fuck, what is there to do besides trying to be friends with this fucked up situation? There's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. Fuck.
And I think something that I'm really appreciating right now is that like you are just hearing me out because do you realize if I talk about this with anyone, that the instinct the thing that kicks in all the time is some sort of caretaking or placating or like, oh, it's gonna be fine, it's gonna be okay, or like, well, you don't know that, you only know this and that. And it's like them trying to sort of shut down my emotions because my emotions and how I'm relating to it, they actually can't handle and be within themselves because it's a super fucked up situation. And I wanted you to know and like everyone here to know, like that's actually really nice for me is just being able to just have my experience.
Yeah. Well, it is your experience and like your nightmare about reincarnating and having this over and over again. I'm like thinking, well, in some ways that's already happening to you, right? Because you've been living with this for 10 years.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually kind of it's like that's a funny irony. It's like 10 years, 10 times.
Yeah. It's fucked up. It's so fucked up. I have to say though, there's some way that's weird with this fucked up. I'm gonna just argue is a little bit of anger. I'm gonna tease you about that a little bit.
Sure.
And you know, you described your Buddhism and the way that think about it, and yet you also talked about alchemy.
Hmm?
And so there's some sort of way to where I don't know, it just feels like you being with this fucked up and being able to be with this fucked up piece of it, you are with it and that you kind of hold something separate, like while you're being in the fucked up. So I get why the anger isn't forward. I mean, like it isn't the thing that you name it as, or the way that you think of it, because it's like you allow yourself to dip into it. It feels like you allow yourself to dip into that. And then there's like, it doesn't feel religious to me, but there's some sort of way that your creative brain seems like it's using those ingredients for something. I don't know what I'm saying.
No, I know exactly what you're saying. That's that part of me that's that part of me that like is transformative. It's that part of me like that just it's my spirit. Like that's what it does, you know? I like to think that's one of the things that I inspire in others as well, like in their lives. Um, mm.
So somehow when you're speaking of the fact, the reality of the fact that you really don't know what's going to happen, and it's really fucked up. And freaking God has said there may not be time for the rest of your season and all that, and it it looks just agonizing to be in, you know, when you're in it. But yet it also feels like it's it seems so weird for me to be saying, but it also feels like it's like you're collecting the ingredients of the transformation. It's weird.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like I like to say that having crazy constraints actually gives like the space for creativity, right? And it's like, okay, if God all of a sudden said, your left hand is tied behind your back, you only get two colors, and you have to hold the paintbrush in your mouth, and you have this weird canvas thing. Like all of a sudden, you have a bit of a better idea of like what you're gonna do than if you just like had no instruction or no constraints at all, right? And so, yeah, I think there's something to that, Peggy, where it's like I'm getting intimately familiar with the mud. And it's like I don't know. I think there's something here where it's like the pressure I put on myself is like the pressure I put on myself is that the transformation or the value of the transformation is in the blooming of the lotus flower coming from the mud. And I think like maybe something that's like arising just now is something like it's almost like connecting with being with that intent of transformation. That's way more important. Like regardless of if I'm really able to do anything magnificent with all of this, like and turn this fucked up situation into something like really cool and awesome, like instead of that being like my barometer and then I'm on my deathbed saying, well, fuck,
Right.
middle of the season just got cut short. Like, but there's something too, I think, like being connected with the sort of like the heart of that. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Like,
So
and not being like, yeah,
what I'm getting from what you're saying is it's actually connecting with, you said the intent, but it feels bigger than that. It's not the idea of the intent. It's actually almost connecting with the energy
right.
of the transformation process. Like like what I think I'm hearing you say is it's it's actually giving yourself to that transformation process and not worrying about the outcomes of it.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yep, exactly. Exactly.
Because there's a way that you feel different. There's a right now, if you
Mm.
just notice how you feel, and can you describe that?
Yeah. Yeah. So, it's funny. We were talking about this pressure like at the beginning of all this and like I didn't even realize like how much like almost like psychic pressure there was. And what's interesting is it's like, okay, we're talking about a pressure cooker and there's like food and steam or something. I don't know how to work a pressure cooker. Um, but like all the stuff's in the pressure cooker. And it's like all the contents are still there, but the pressure is not.
Got it. Is it like it's sort of a zoomed out?
Not really like it's zoomed out. It's more like I don't feel an urgency or a need. Not that it's like I don't want to or that I won't, but there's like a balance that's like
Mm.
present in this moment that's like I actually like I don't feel compelled, pushed, pulled, forced, like I really have to do anything with this.
Oh, I love that. You just feel balanced. You don't feel like compelled. You don't feel pushed. You also talked about a responsibility. It feels like that's let go too.
Yeah, and there's like some way where like the image that came to me is like, oh, or this realization that like, oh, I'm just like really good. I'm really good at doing that. And when people have these sort of expectations and I'm great at performing, right? And like if people are wanting that, then I can turn it on and I can do magic and I can create stuff. But there's some way where like that's been the hardest part about all of this for me has been confronting other people's emotions with all of this and then being with that myself and then feeling the need that I need to like do something with it so that it's okay for everyone else around me, even though I'm okay with it pretty fundamentally myself in some ways, not all the ways as we've been exploring. Um, but like this neutrality that like I've connected within myself, like from this place, it's like from this place being with others is actually much easier because I'm not feeling like this compulsion to do something
Mhm.
about it, you know?
Yeah. So I'm really happy about that. Like it's like, whoa, to to be able to somehow sort of shed that pressure cooker or somehow it be neutralized or somehow to where you're able to at least in this moment be okay with however people react. Is that fair?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we're actually out of time, so I'm really glad you came to this at this point. And so I'm just like want to thank you, Alex, for taking us on this journey and for really just letting us be with you. Like be with you in all of your angstiness, your creativity, your tranquility, and now your neutrality. Like, wow. I I just want you to know, I think you fundamentally changed me somehow.
Can you give me like a few words about that?
Yeah, I think it's there's some sort of way in this process that your way of creativity and transformation somehow seems to be seeping into me. Like like it's not about doing anything. It's about being in the muck and being in the reality and being in the whatever and letting it have its way with me and just sort of, I don't know, my experience is almost like letting it formulate itself.
Mm,
Like that's what I got out of this talk by just watching you in your process.
mm,
And then you had a lot of fun words around it, but I'm just telling you that that's what's working inside of me.
thanks, Peggy.
Thank you.
Mm.
I'd love to hear how that is for you to hear as a close to the circle.
The most rewarding part of being a cancer patient for me is hearing how when it does positively impact people. And
Mm,
it's the sweetness that doesn't make it all worth it, but it's the sweetness that only I can appreciate. That none of you guys actually get to appreciate that sweetness. And so I appreciate it when I can.
mm, kisses.
Thank you.
Thank you. With that, we'll close the circle.
Mm.